Peace, family. Hope everyone is well out there. This your man King God. Shout out to the scientists. We gonna get straight into this one. I hold classes every other Friday on my Patreon, and what we deal with is law, in-depth, step-by-step breakdowns. We have redemption processes. We have it all on in class every other Friday. But today I'm going to present to you on YouTube the scientists who can't make it to the Patreon but hope to one day. This one is for you guys. Shout out to the scientists once again. And what we'll be dealing with is something called consent. Now, in class, we go over consent in depth. Today, we'll go over it to a degree. If you want the in-depth breakdowns, the show and prove, pulled up the sources, blah blah, all that, the in-depth, you'll check us out. You'll come to class on Patreon. But for today, we're getting into consent. And the thing with consent is, I don't need you to verbally say I allow you to or I don't allow you to. And I'm speaking from a political governmental strategy. I need it, and I'm going to get it through trickery and ignorance on your behalf. And so today what we'll be going over is something called the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't know if they still got it in school. I remember when I was in school they had it. But if they do have it still, and you have a child that attends school and you've looked over the Pledge of Allegiance, you think none of it doesn't even cross your mind, maybe it will now. Because we're dealing with law. And when we deal with law, we have to deal with consent. Because most and majority of what we can call either legal or lawful things that happen come through consent, whether voluntary or involuntary, whether knowingly or ignorantly giving consent. Consent is still consent. So the Pledge of Allegiance is something we'll have to deal with, because I believe most of us have children or nieces or nephews or something to that degree. So family, without holding you up too much longer, let's get straight into consent and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, that was cute, right? So cute and shit like that. It was just so cute. Well, let's look at the Pledge of Allegiance. First of all, understand what the hell you're saying, what you're allowing your children to say, and what power those words hold. Snap out of zombie land. That is the point. Snap out of zombie land. Understand the reason that you, specifically you, are in the situation you are in this business land called the United States of America is because of things like this. So, when you say I pledge allegiance, right? When you say I, immediately the individual consent is secured right there, because you are letting them know, me, this person right here, I. Already. Pledge is to assure that a person, you, because you said I, will repay a debt or perform an act under contract. Oh man. To my scientists out there, your brain's already working. I know. Which consists of three parts: two separate parties and a contract of a pledge. Understanding that a pledge is an ancient feudal act. I pledge allegiance, which is a contract. Notice it says loyalty and obedience owed by all persons born within the king's realm, that is attached immediately upon their birth. That deals with the straw man, family. Birth certificate. Understand what's going on. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Which one? I have to ask you this. Which What United States of America are you talking about? Because you have to be specific. You see how this works? There's over 350 different United States of Americas. But you pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic. Ooh, wait a minute. Scientists, I already know how your mind is working. I'm right there with you. What the fuck is a republic? Because we need to know. So, the word republic refers to a form of government where the citizens conduct their affairs for their own benefit rather than for the benefit of a ruler. So the people know how to handle themselves, speak for self, stand for self as a collective. They conduct their own affairs. Doesn't seem like we're in a republic, but yet let's keep going, because you know, we have to learn. For which it stands, one nation. What? Wait a minute. A nation? What's a nation? What's a nation? Let's look at a nation. Nations. Nations or states are independent bodies, societies of men, united, community, common unity. Men united together for the purpose of promoting their mutual safety and advantage by the joint efforts of their combined strength, a community. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Family, we just went over the pledge. Don't even call it the Pledge of Allegiance, just call it the pledge. Where you put yourself under contract, loyalty, obeyment to the United States of America, the corporation, and to the republic, the organic states government, for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now you have taken that oath, and you send your children to take that oath. And the Pledge of Allegiance, let me just lay it out for you, okay? Because I know, you know, our attention spans aren't what they should be. So I got to get straight to the point because, you know, it is what it is. So the Pledge of Allegiance, pretty much the Pledge of Allegiance is a verbal contract which secretly obligates the victims, you, your children, you did it to your children. It's a secret obligation the victims accept representation of their republic by the United States of America, the corporation, which fails to properly identify itself or seek open consent. No, we cannot do open consent. We need to trick you, because if you knew better, you would not pledge your allegiance, and which merely claimed to stand for the American Republic. Once again, family, for those in the back or for those who were just slow of hearing, the Pledge of Allegiance is a verbal contract secretly obligating you to accept representation of their republic by the United States of America, which failed to properly identify itself or seek open consent, and which merely claimed to stand for the American Republic. This is the importance of consent, a verbal contract. Just like when you were registered as goods upon the vessel called your mother's womb. That birth certificate creates your straw man. Your straw man is the slave corporation, the one that you keep working 9 to 5 to pay all these bills and debts and taxes, continuously. Why? CPS can come in your house and take your kids if they want, because that's not you. That's not your child. You registered your child as goods, products, property, and then gave it away Ooh-wee. So then what you do to reaffirm your slavery is send your children into a school, and you make them and allow them to pledge themselves in their allegiance to the corporate United States of America, all through consent, from the birth certificate to the Pledge of Allegiance. This is what we do because of our ignorance, and we don't see the impact or the purpose of law, but yet we can complain about law and police and court systems and blah blah, but yet you won't sit the fuck down and study the Pledge of Allegiance, something so simple, or you thought was so simple and innocent. Yeah, all right. Do you know there's a person, or there's a trust with your, or what seems like your name, that benefits everybody else except you? So then they make you work for debt to pay off a debt that you can't pay off with debt, but yet you work like the slave you are to pay debt. You call it bills. We'll get into bills in law class, and we'll get in depth in bills. The difference. The best way I can put it, family, once you were registered through the birth certificate contract, right? You became property. Well, when that happened, a trust, we get into trust law deep, but I'm summarizing. A trust, a 3-part trust. So imagine a box with all your powers, everything owed to you, your intellectual property, your spiritual property, your emotional property, your physical property. Everything you are is in this box that is yours. But when you're born, your mother gives this box to the government, right? Now, this box is supposed to benefit you. No. Now you're the worker for that trust. And everybody else are the beneficiaries, all because you decide, your mother and your father's ignorant asses signed you over as wards of the state, vessels lost at sea in the Dead Sea Scrolls, or I'm not even gonna get into that. That's too deep. But understand, the Pledge of Allegiance is exactly what it says it is. It's a pledge of allegiance. It's a verbal contract of slavery. It's just reinforcing, reaffirming out loud that your child, who was already lost at sea, remains lost at sea because of your ignorance. Family, I'm gonna make this short, but you have to understand what I just presented to you. If you don't, that's fine, but I know the scientists out there will want more to this, and I'll see them at class, or they'll buy the book. You know what I'm talking about? Law is the word of the day. Law is the word of the day. With that being said, family, please do better. Know better. Apply this. Share this out. I'm sure that won't happen, but for those who do, I appreciate you. I'm out.
We gonna get straight to the point. We gonna get this information out here. We gonna change the narrative.
Shout out my man King Oz. If you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to King Oz's YouTube channel. A lot of great content, good discussions, and a lot of eye-opening information from true and honest perspectives. Make sure you get your little book of
Peace and blessings, family, and salute to the God King Oz, a dope brother, a woke brother, father, and an author of the little book of everything. Do me a favor, man. Join the family. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself.
And I want to give a silverback shout out to my brother King Dumas on this little book of everything. And it's packed from page to page with nothing but information that the people in the community needs. I don't know how he decided what goes in this book for each individual that he personally writes one for, but he knocked mine out of the park. Thank you, Brother King Dumas. And everybody should have this little book of everything. Nothing but information. Thank you, brother. Much love.
Y'all know who it is. Elijah Lamar, tapping in from the BMF TV series. I need everybody to go ahead and subscribe to King Oz's page right now. KINGOZ, King Oz. Dude got great content and dope information for you to go ahead and take in. Trust me, you won't regret it. Subscribe.